First year of the Biden administration, as you know, we've had tremendous success confirming federal judges. Tremendous success. We have confirmed more judges to the federal bench, 43 as of this morning, than any president in his first year since Reagan. And that's a big accomplishment. These are, of course, lifetime appointments. In fact, the judges who have been nominated and confirmed not only have remarkable demographic diversity, women, people of color, but for the first time, real professional diversity as well. Public defenders, public interest lawyers, community folks, as opposed to simply partners in big fancy law firms and prosecutors. With Justice Breyer's decision to retire at the end of this term, President Biden has an opportunity to make the Supreme Court look more like America by nominating the first black woman in U.S. history to serve as a justice. We have had 115 justices in the history of this country. Only 5 have been women. Only 2 have been African American. None have been African American women. So this is simply having the court reflect America, which it hasn't in the past. Until, I believe it is 40 or 50 years ago, there were only white males on the bench on the Supreme Court. So America changes and evolves and moves, and so should the Supreme Court. So what President Biden said is a good idea. Now, the Senate will have a fair process that moves quickly to confirm the president's pick. I applaud President Biden's commitment to choosing a qualified and a historic nominee. A more balanced, more diverse judiciary has been one of our top goals ever since we got into the majority a year ago. And we are achieving that, and now we will achieve that, hopefully, at the Supreme Court level as well. The more Americans look at our courts and see people who look like them and come from the same backgrounds and share similar experiences, the better off our justice system and our democracy will be. This week, Senate Democrats are working to confirm even more of President Biden's highly qualified nominees. And in the theme of continuing our success from 2021 into 2022, Democrats are focused on passing legislation that directly helps American families. Today, our economy is in the midst of a historic turnaround with record wage and economic growth. And people talk about, 5.7%. To me, one of the most important things in the economy is wage growth is real. For decades, economists and average folks decried the fact that wage growth was flat. In fact, some of the statistics I've seen show that for about 75% of all Americans, there was no real growth between 2000 and 2020. But now wages are going up. And the second prong of that, getting wages up, is getting costs down. And we Democrats are focusing on getting costs down. In 2021, we responded to the COVID crisis by passing the American Rescue Plan 2 months into the president's term. Of course, we passed a historic infrastructure package that's putting people to work, fixing our roads, our bridges, our highways. And now we're focused on doing more to help families get ahead and stay ahead. Our focus, to help those not into the middle class to get there, giving them the ladders up they need. To those in the middle class, to keep them there and to alleviate their anxiety that they won't stay there. And that's what we're doing. Now, the House is now joining the Senate to pass legislation that will help businesses struggling with strained supply chains. The chip shortage has raised the prices of cars, of appliances, of iPhones. And our bill, USICA, will do that. It also does something else very important to the American people. It says we want the jobs in America, not overseas, in China or Germany or anywhere else. We want them in America. In America. USICA will help make investments on Main Street. You've already seen what happened in Ohio. And it brings good-paying jobs back to the United States. So the continuing push by Democrats and by the Biden administration to have wages go up instead of stay flat is there. We're continuing also to pursue legislation that will lower the cost of prescription drugs and cap the cost of insulin. Instead of $600 a dose, it could go back to $36 a dose. Our agenda, and this is an important point, stands in sharp contrast on almost every item with Republicans, who seem to favor the powerful, wealthy special interests and stand in the way. Prescription drugs being a classic example, but there are many of those. So, while we got a lot done in 2021, we're not resting on our laurels. We're going to keep working on these important issues. Senator Murray.